Welcome back. Well, it's always nice to have Officer Ray Scheidness here, CHP, Public Information Officer out of, I always say the San Juan Capistrano office, but you kind of cover, would it be actually called South Orange County, kind of your jurisdiction?
That's right, Ken. We cover pretty much from the Orange County, the South Orange County line, which is right there at the north end of Camp Pendleton, Interstate 5, Christianitos Road. We go all the way up to the Lake Forest off-ramp. That's where our boundaries cover from Interstate 5. But we also cover other areas, portions of the 241, Highway 73. We also do work in Coto de Caza, communities such as that, and Rancho Santa Margarita, San Clemente. So we're in that kind of in a big general area down there.
And that's what we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
And it's been quite a while that we've talked about really what the CHP's jurisdiction is, not just South Orange County here for you folks, but in general.
Right.
What many people, I think, probably feel that, okay, they only oversee the freeways and down here, of course, the toll roads, but in fact, you also cover other areas as well. And how does that play out when you're on maybe a surface street, you're on Moulton Parkway, you're driving here, and you see something that happens versus maybe being on a major highway like Antonio Parkway or the toll road? When is the time that you guys step in, and I'm not talking about a major incident, which will obviously help, just you see a traffic violation of some kind?
Well, as a California Highway Patrol officer, my jurisdiction, or our jurisdiction, is the entire state of California. So regardless of whether we're here or someplace up north or points in between, my jurisdiction is everywhere. I can write a ticket or take somebody into custody anywhere in the state. So we're kind of like seen as state police in some ways. Our primary focus, of course, is on some of the major highways, the freeways, and that's where the confusion is. A lot of people think that the Highway Patrol only stays up on the freeway because that's where you normally see a highway patrolman. The fact is that we go all over the place, all over the state. We pretty much cover anything that's also unincorporated, such as the sheriff's departments. If the sheriff department can't respond to something that they cover, then the Highway Patrol is usually the next agency in line to be called to respond to that incident, whatever it might be. And it can be anything from a traffic incident to a domestic violence situation in a residential area. You have incorporated cities which will have their own police departments. We've seen them all over, but not every city has their own police department. So the sheriff will be the main law enforcement agency to cover those unincorporated areas. But like I said, the Highway Patrol also covers those areas as well. Now, if I see a violation on a city street somewhere, say I'm just driving through the city to go somewhere to maybe pick up just a cup of coffee or something, and I see a violation, sure, I can stop the vehicle and write a citation or have a talk with the driver. So yeah, we do patrol all over, and we do have our main focuses on the major highways, but we can go anywhere throughout the state of California.
So are you considered state police as far as, I don't even know, California, do they even have state police?
California used to, some time ago, have a separate state police agency. It was some years ago that was merged into the Highway Patrol, and so pretty much the Highway Patrol is the California State Police, if there was a need for such a thing. But yeah, so like I said, we do go all over the state.
And I know some of the things that that the CHP does. Let's say if the governor is traveling somewhere and going down a highway, you guys will serve as sort of part of the motorcade for that, or closing. I know sometimes you might close the off ramps just temporarily as they come through, or if the president comes through, which seems to be quite often.
Yes, that's correct. We do provide details to provide the security for the state government people, such as the governor. Oftentimes those people on those details, those officers, will not be as highly visible as myself. They may be in unmarked vehicles, or they may be, and they may not be dressed in a uniform such as mine. But we do also provide special details for any dignitaries or federal government or anything like that that comes to our area, especially in the time of the elections right now, where you have a lot of candidates that are traveling to various parts of the state. The Highway Patrol is very involved in providing security and helping them get safely from one point to another.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You also go around to several state and federal buildings in the area, and maybe take a drive around every so often. And I think sometimes you actually go into maybe the federal building or downtown in Santa Ana, those areas, and check in with them, right?
We do. We check on the safety and the just make sure the general condition of various state agencies, such as the DMV. We are oftentimes the first responding agency to those locations, and especially those are state agencies, specifically the DMV.
You're right.
But we also do respond to places such as you'll have the mayor or the senators, representatives of federal government that are local to a CHP area such as ours, and we do have the responsibility to check in on those people and make sure their welfare is where it should be.
You also, as we know, especially this, we know the San Juan office for sure, and other offices do. You do a lot of other functions for the community. One of them is, of course, assisting in people who want car seats put in for their children and babies, right?
That's correct. We do provide that service. People can call into our office, or any CHP office for that matter, and request to have a child safety seat installed by a certified safety seat installer. We have officers and personnel at each area office that are trained and certified to do that, and also to make adjustments if it's just an adjustment that's necessary. You just simply need to call a CHP office to request that assistance and make an appointment. We also do VIN verification or VIN inspections when the DMV refers a vehicle to have a further VIN verification or inspection of some kind. The CHP areas will have personnel that take care of those requests. We also provide a lot of educational programs for things such as teen drivers or senior drivers, things like that. We have a lot of programs like that that are sought after by a lot of the schools and other organizations out there. And a lot of times we have a lot of agencies that involve driving as part of their daily routines, such as say like the water district or somebody like that. They will request us to come out and give safety presentations to their employees. So we do a lot of educational things like that. A lot of people think that the Highway Patrol is just another, an agency that's out there to enforce the law, and that's true. That is our primary function. But along with law enforcement, we need to educate the community about the safety and the dangers of driving a vehicle and getting from one place to another in one piece.
And we know the great event that you folks do that goes up to the high schools along with Orange County Fire Authority, where you stage the mock DUIs. We've seen pictures of that from both you folks, and also Steve Concialdi brings those on, which is a program that he pretty much kind of founded years ago. But working together with them, it's these programs that you do for teen drivers of all kinds, even teens that are learning how to drive. It's a great resource because for parents to send their teens there, or in this case for this community, maybe telling your grandkids this is something you should look into.
Right.
It's fantastic. It really is. You're learning from the experts.
Absolutely. We get a lot of credit from the parents and the teen drivers thanking us for these programs. It really helps people get off to a good start and realize that the reality of driving on public roads is a very dangerous situation, and we all need to pay attention to driving safely. A lot of programs. You mentioned the Every 15 Minutes program. That's the one where we work hand in hand with other agencies such as Steve Concialdi and the fire department in Orange County. That program is invaluable. It reenacts a DUI accident scene.
Very realistic.
And seeing the trauma that's involved with that and the reality of it, and it shows a first-hand look as close as you could possibly be without actually being involved in one for the teen drivers. And anybody else that is in the audience. So it's a very valuable program.
Yeah, definitely.
And something the Highway Patrol is definitely very happy to be behind.
Yeah, they do a good job with that. Speaking of safe driving, the good news is that the Ortega area has been done, as we've seen, And then, I don't know if you want to call it bad news, but as far as traffic goes, OCTA is of course working on the area south of there, along in San Clemente.
Correct.
Very shortly, I don't know the exact date, but they're going to be looking at the El Toro overpass right over here.
Okay.
And I think they're going to be widening that within the next, I want to say 3 years.
Sounds about right.
But there's ongoing widening of the 5 freeway and construction and
Yeah.
new overpasses and all kinds of things. But it can get quite dicey. In fact, I've seen, last times we came back from San Diego, 2 accidents right where that is down
Sure.
in San Clemente.
It's a very busy time right now with a lot of construction going on. You mentioned the Ortega Highway at the Interstate 5. That has been a very busy construction area for, I want to say, almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
But it is finally coming together. If you drive through there, you can see the ramps are open now, both on ramps and off ramps. There's still a lot of small detail work that's being done, so that'll go on for some time still. But I think they've got things under control quite well. And you're right, down in San Clemente, that's another very busy area with the loss of a lot of shoulder area. It makes it difficult
Yeah.
for us because when we have accidents, a lot of times it'll take up lanes, which will snarl the traffic for everybody else. But just be patient. If you're out driving through these areas, be careful. Give yourself room. Pay attention to where the construction is. The construction people are out there very diligent about giving you plenty of advance warning that you're approaching such
Yes, they
an
are.
area. So just keep that in mind and give them room. Anybody that's working on the road, it's important for their safety and our safety. Just pay attention to what's going on around you, and over time we'll all get through this whole construction issue, and hopefully things will mesh together very well. There's a lot of people that want to live in this area. There's a lot of construction going on with as far as
Yeah.
residential areas, and we want to make sure that the highways can accommodate all that extra traffic, and the state's working very hard to make that happen.
All right. Thank you for coming on. It's nice to talk about about what the CHP does, and great to have you on
Thank you,
as
Ken.
always. We'll see you again in about a month. You want to get your car seat in, call their local office, 949-487-4000 down there in San Juan. And they're great at it, believe me. It's hard to do yourself. Hey, we're running out of time. The weather, like I said, hot for the next few days. That's going to be about it. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming.